You are watching Market Watch, the brief overview of the key events from the world of finance. Let's start with gold, which collapsed to $1,956 per ounce, but buyers managed to resist the development of a more powerful wave of decline. We have repeatedly talked about the risk of sell-offs, as the demand for protective assets is declining. But it should also be noted that the rise in gold prices was not accompanied by a similar wave of growth in the value of shares of gold mining companies. This may indicate that investors do not believe the long-term nature of the current trend in the precious metals market, thereby increasing the likelihood of a further decline in the price of gold. At the same time, the extremely unstable geopolitical situation continues to keep sellers from a deeper collapse. Also, the oil market turned red due to an unexpectedly strong decrease in exports in China. Since this country remains the largest factory in the world, a significant slowdown in exports indicates a general decrease in consumption in other countries. At the same time, China is the largest importer of oil and the second largest consumer. Consequently, a prolonged drop in export volumes will lead to a decrease in business activity and, as a result, will reduce the physical demand for black gold. Realizing this, investors get rid of this asset in their portfolios. Let me remind you that a few months ago the problem of oil shortage was discussed, including due to production cuts by OPEC+ members. Now investors are focused on the apparent deterioration of the economic situation in the United States and China, the two leaders in terms of oil consumption. And now let's move on to the foreign exchange market. The US dollar has begun to gradually regain previously lost positions, as investors overestimate their reaction to weak US GDP data. But the release of disappointing data from Germany should also be taken into account. Unexpectedly, a strong decrease in industrial production in September was the fifth monthly decline. Besides, the business activity index in the German construction sector returned to its lowest value since March 2020. All this is a strong bearish fundamental factor for the euro, significantly reducing the likelihood of long-term retention of high interest rates in the Eurozone, while the US economy still looks relatively stable. And by tradition, I will conclude the review with the cryptocurrency market. On Tuesday, during the American trading session, there was a significant increase in the activity of Bitcoin buyers. But they have not managed to continue the growth and update the maximum of the current year. The reason is that the market has not received the main bullish fundamental factor, namely the approval of the application for the creation of a Bitcoin ETF. Most likely, the observed excitement was provoked by a general increase in interest in risk against the background of a decrease in the likelihood of a key interest rate increase by the Federal Reserve. That's all I have. Follow the news carefully and be prepared for all the surprises of the market.